Since The Witcher's pretty outdated, it can only use 2 GB of your computer's RAM, so I really recommend using this patch if nothing else, because it lets the game use up to 4 GB of RAM, making it more stable and less likely to crash. Download the file manually, and after extracting the files, run the patch and select witcher.exe. It should be in your system folder within the game directory. If you don't know where your game directory is, just right-click The Witcher on Steam and click Manage, and then browse local files. Project Mersey includes hundreds of bug fixes, restored content, and general improvements to the game. After downloading and unzipping the file, copy and paste both the override and the modules folders in the game's data folder. Click OK when prompted to replace the files with the same name. This mod makes the wheat look more natural by replacing the overly bright vanilla textures. After downloading and unzipping the file, open the Natural Crops folder, then the Data folder, and copy the Override folder. Paste it into your game's Data folder. At this stage, you should see both the Project Mersey and Natural Crops folders within the game's Override folder. This fixes an annoying seam issue with the Reverend's face and beard. Download and unzip, and then copy the Data folder and paste it directly into the game directory. If done correctly, you'll see these 2 DDS files in the Override folder. This mod adds a new dialogue where Geralt tells Julian if he managed to free Celina's soul during the Heat of the Day quest. A file with fully voiced dialogue is available in English, German, and French. Download and unzip both the main file and the voice file of your choice. First, copy the Celina Julian Fix folder and paste it into the Overrides folder. Next, copy the English folder and paste it into the Celina Julian Fix folder. Vizima UI is a modernized UI overhaul that makes The Witcher's menus and interface look nicer, easier to read, and more usable without changing core gameplay. To install, download and unzip, and then copy the classic UI folder and paste it within the game's Override folder. Geralt can be agonizingly slow in this game, so thanks to Goguen 2, we can now move faster with multiple speed options. I personally prefer 50% faster, but you're welcome to choose a different file. After you download and unzip, copy the creaturespeed.2da file and drop it in the Override folder. This is an HD retexture of Kaer Morhen based on The Witcher 3. Download and extract the files, then copy the Override folder and paste it into the game's Data folder. At this point, double check that your Override folder matches my screen. This mod aims to improve the textures for multiple light sources within the game. To install, download and extract, and then copy the Override folder and paste it into the game's Data folder. When opening the game's Override folder, you should now be able to see several .dds files with Blick in the title. Download and unzip the file, then copy the Override folder and paste it into the game's Data folder. You'll now see 2 new .dds files. Both the Board-Gwent Retexture mod and the Better Dice for Original Witcher mod can be installed by unzipping the files and copying the files within each folder. Paste them within the game's Override folder, and if you see an mg_board.dds file and 2 other .dds files titled Kostka, then you're good to go. For complete sword overhaul, You can install it by downloading and extracting the files, and then copying the sword's DM folder straight into the game directory. The Dagger Overhaul mod can be installed by following the same steps. The Carmen and Friends mod retextures characters that on YouTube we'll call Ladies of the Night. To install, download and extract the archive, then copy the LMS mod's Carmen and Friends folder and paste it in the Overrides folder. This is a texture rework for Geralt's face and his leather armor. Download and unpack, and then open the retextured folder, then the data folder, and finally copy the Geralt Retextured mod folder and paste it in the Override folder. For some reason, Geralt is the only Witcher in the game with cat eye textures, so with this mod, all of the other Witchers will have them too. Install by downloading and extracting, and then copying the scripts and texture folders. Then paste them within the Override folder. For HD Dryads, we're not using Rise of the White Wolf Enhanced Edition, so all of the files can go into the Override folder. For the Leo Retexture mod, we'll be installing both the main file and the Ghost Retexture. Unzip both and paste the main file Override folder in the game's data folder. Repeat for the Ghost Retexture. I've included several other character retextures in this mod list that require the same installation process. This includes Triss, Foltest, Radovid, Taylor, Dandelion, Eskel, Lambert, Vesemir, Shani, and Zoltan. It's entirely up to your preference if you want to install all of them or only some of them. Download, unzip, and copy and paste the Override folder into the game's data folder and you should be good. Some files will be in the Override folder, while others, like with Triss for example, will show loose files in the data folder. This is normal and shouldn't cause any problems.